Hey guys, Michael here from michaelsherlock.com. I'm actually at the beach right now. This is the day after WWDC 2011. Wasn't able to get on for you guys yesterday, but I still want to give you a little bit of a recap and of course my thoughts on the WWDC 2011 announcements. There were three basic pillars going into this conference. That was macOS 10 Lion, that was iOS 5, and that was this iCloud service. I've talked about all of those features and all of those rumors in the past. Now, we thought that there could be one last thing. I was predicting that there wouldn't be. I was predicting that there would not be any mention of hardware. There was no mention of any Mac hardware or of any iPhone 5, iPhone 4S hardware either. So really, it was just two really strong software showings and then the iCloud service. So first off, let's start with macOS 10 Lion. So some of the features that were shown: full screen apps, multi-touch gestures for pinch and zoom, mission control, which as we recall is basically expose and spaces morphed together. And let me just say this, right now if I go to expose, and I'm recording right off my computer right now, so that's what I just did, everything's sort of mixed up with the mission control that is launching. Everything is stacked together, so similar apps are grouped together. Your spaces show up at the top. It's very much an improved and more elegant way of morphing these two features that Apple has launched in the past. I'm really a huge expose guy. I'm not really a big spaces guy. However, the way mission control implements both of these is very impressive and is something that I will definitely be using in macOS 10 Lion. Momentum scrolling is also added. Photo booth has also been improved. We've had this feature, this app, everybody's used it in the Apple Store, okay? This is one of those features that everybody has used and everybody has touched. But it keeps getting improved in each version slowly but surely. So right now, one of the things they've added is face detection, so it can track and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. Let's talk about the Mac App Store for a second. We've seen it. I think I demoed it for you in Snow Leopard. In Lion, it's built right into the application, right into Lion. So in-app purchases, push notifications, all that stuff can happen for apps. It's very impressive. Moving on, we have Resume, which is actually a pretty cool way of just resuming your apps. Basically, sort of the way that certain mobile operating systems do it now. If you start doing start playing a game or something, and then you leave, when you come back it'll be at the same place. If you start writing whatever, it'll come back right as you left it, which is pretty cool. Another thing, autosave. Lion will autosave all your documents for you automatically without you saying so. The only thing that you can do, or many of the things that you can go back and look at different revisions of things, but you also have the option to turn it off if you don't want to. Pretty cool. And another cool feature that I really found impressive was AirDrop. So you can choose a friend, drop the file onto their system, and it's done. It's fully encrypted. It's set up automatically. So, one of the things that I use, several of my friends, I share files with them back and forth. We use Dropbox, which is kind of annoying because I have to upload it, and then once it's done being uploaded, I send them the email link. Once they get that, they download it. Right now, this would completely streamline that process. If they wanted me to send them some files, or some pictures, let's say, I just copy the pictures, drag it onto their system, and over the network, I believe it doesn't even have to be over Wi-Fi. It can be anywhere, really. They can get it, and it's just so much easier to do. File transfers via AirDrop. Mail has also been improved. I used to use something called, I forget what it was now, but it made it be different. It made mail improved. I think it was called Letterbox. And now that you have that sort of in here, because you can do 2 or 3 columns if you want to, there are search rules and suggestions for you that you can use, full height messages as well as inline messages, so threaded messaging, which is actually very cool and something that I find would be great for mail. Windows, other notable features include Windows migration, FaceTime built in, iChat service plugins, search tokens for Finder. So there's a lot of stuff. When will you be getting your hands on this? July launch. It'll be 4 GB in total, and you can install it on all of your Macs. How much is it going to cost you? Same as that Snow Leopard price, $29.99, but there will not be any discs. It'll be all done via the App Store. Now, I can see why this is great for most consumers. 99% of people will find this extremely easy, because in the past, most consumers, new operating system, they don't update, they don't know how to do it, right? This is really easy. You just click in the App Store and it'll do it for you. On the other hand, though, for people like me, for people like you, we want to do fresh installs. We want to make sure it's the best of the best. We want to have custom installations and all that. We're not really going to be able to do that because there's no disk. who's to say that there won't be a way to do a fresh install once you downloaded it? But the thing is, if there's no disk, how could it be running from the hard drive which you're wiping to install? You know what I mean? So there could be some issues with that. So next up is iOS 5. There are 1,500 new APIs for devs, but let's get into like the biggest headline feature, the thing that I said that had to happen, the new notifications. Notification Center, you'll be able to swipe down from the top for all your notifications. So if you're playing a game or a movie, an animation will show up at the top, and then it'll swivel down and away, which is really pretty easy. Then from there, you'll be able to just, again, swipe down from the top of the screen, similar to the way Android does it, and you'll be able to see all your notifications. Very, very easy. It solves up the problem of having more than one notification and having to close it and get rid of it. It groups it all into one place. It makes it very easy, and it also now makes stuff unobtrusive. Before, you'd get a text message notification, you get any notification, you either have to reply to it now or get rid of it. Now, it's just the way notification should be. And another cool thing, it'll be on the lock screen as well, so you can, it'll show up if you have like a text message or whatever, and you could swipe that. Instead of swiping to unlock, you could swipe the notification, and it would bring you right in to that particular application, which is pretty cool. The next new thing in iOS 5 is called Newsstand, which will bring magazines and newspapers to iOS. It will auto-download and place all of your content onto the newsstand, and it is completely integrated with the home screen, so it's an application and such. Another huge feature that was very rumored, such deep level integration with Twitter. You'll have a single login in the settings, and that can be shared with any apps that request it. So if you want an app, a Twitter app just to read your tweets, you'll be able to link that in. You won't have to log in because it'll be set in the settings. If you want to have different applications that can just tweet for you, like we'll get to in a second, that's all done right from this single login. So this is integrated with many apps, camera and photos. So you take a picture, you just tap and hit tweet, and it's done. It's automatically attached and sent out to your followers. Maps and web pages too. Maps and web pages too. So if there's a map that you want to easily send to Twitter, web page that you easily want to do, you can do that. And what's also cool is this will automatically update contact information that you have in your contact book, your address book, with Twitter handles. Very much Android-esque in that regard. Next up is Safari. Safari Reader, which is something that was in the Safari desktop version that I actually liked. Basically, there's a button at the top, you click it, and it takes the article and basically pulls it full screen and leaves everything behind. So it's much easier to read an article and all that because you're not worried about the ads on the side or seeing other links or seeing notifications pop up and all that. It just brings it into full screen, and it's really pretty easy. Also cool, you can email contents of the story right from the browser, not just links. Reading lists, which is lists of articles to read later, and that'll sync across all devices, which is actually really cool because I find myself on the desktop, as well as currently in iOS, having multiple windows or multiple tabs open respectively, just so I can come back to something interesting later to read. This is really cool because it's just done and you don't have to take up system resources to keep it open. Tab browsing is added, so you have the tabs, which is actually the iPad implementation that I saw looked pretty good. I don't know exactly how well it'll work with iPhone and iPod Touch users, but we'll see. Another really cool thing, reminders. This thing is amazing. You can store lists, assign reminders, but the coolest thing, besides syncing across all devices, is actually location services. So let's say you were going to the airport and you wanted to call your wife or your whatever. But sometimes you always forget to do that, right? You can set up a reminder and tag the airport with a location. So once you get there, it'll send you a reminder that says call home or call wife or call husband, whatever it is. That's just really a cool thing. The location service that is implemented there is very nice. Camera has been updated as well. Camera buttons on the lock screen so you can take pictures without the password. But if you wanted to look at pictures, you're going to need that password, so you're still protected if you have your phone locked. The volume up button can now take the pictures, which before other apps sort of did that, and Apple was like, whoa, you're not allowed to map keys like that. So those features were removed. You'll also be able to pinch in and out to zoom. Autofocus lock as well will be provided. But there's also some new editing features, or editing features at all, that are built right into the operating system. Crop, rotate, reduce red eye. There's even a one-click enhance feature, which we see in iPhoto on the desktop, which is actually pretty cool as well. Mail has been updated, so you can search entire messages. You can format text with rich text. There's also indentations. You can flag messages, and there's also added security features as well if you're a security buff. There's also a built-in dictionary that's accessible across the OS, So we've noticed that like with text, when we're taking notes or wherever, or writing text messages, there's a dictionary. But now that's, I guess, an API that all devs can access. So then all of the applications across the board will have access to this dictionary. So you'll be able to spell check everything no matter where you are, which is pretty cool. Another cool thing, the new keyboard. So of course, remember on the iPad, you had the keyboard at the bottom when it was in vertical mode. Well, now if you just pull it up, it actually splits off into like half the keyboard's on the right, half the keyboard's on the left, and the middle is still displaying your content. So you can just thumb type like this, and it actually looks like it's going to be a pretty solid implementation, and it's actually going to make it really easy. One of the biggest features, though, is PC free. So you can set up and activate over-the-air software updates as well. So over-the-air updates, what does that mean? Your software will be Delta updates, so just the new features are downloaded, and then your software system will be updated. Conversely, you no longer have to plug into iTunes when you first open your phone. It all does it over the air, and we'll get to more of the syncing services in a little while. But essentially, you'll be able to sync iTunes libraries over the air. You'll be able to sync settings and all that stuff. So really, you no longer have to plug your stuff in, and it'll automatically do that once it's being charged. So no matter where you're charging over Wi-Fi, all that stuff will be pulled down for you. Game Center, we just want to gloss over this real quick. You can purchase and download games from the Game Center. There's also friend and game recommendations, and as well as turn-based games are now implemented on the OS level, which is pretty cool. Here's a cool feature that I did not see coming, but I really think has a chance to take off. iMessage. It's essentially a BlackBerry Messenger competitor, so you can send text, MMS, contacts, videos, group messages, all that stuff between iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch users. There's also real-time typing notification, and also there's a feature where send and receive confirmation, so you will be able to see confirmation that they've received the message, which is good and bad. It's good because you know it was sent. On the other side, if it was received and you're expecting a response and they haven't answered you, you kind of know they're ignoring you, so you learn a little bit about your friends in that regard. This will work over Wi-Fi or 3G, which is actually pretty cool. So iMessage, didn't see it coming, but BlackBerry Messenger is a very popular feature, so I know that iMessage will definitely take off as well. What's cool also is you'll be able to sync iTunes libraries over Wi-Fi. So I kind of mentioned that before, but I just want to sync it again. Over Wi-Fi, when you update songs in your library, it'll just sync over the air and update on your iOS devices, which is actually really a cool feature. This will ship to all customers this fall. There's a beta available for devs now. And I believe the 3rd and 4th generation iPod Touch, the iPad and the iPad 2, as well as the iPhone 3GS and iPhone 4, and of course future hardware will support iOS 5. So anything that's running iOS 4 now will also be able to run iOS 5, which is actually pretty cool because there's actually a lot of updates put into iOS 5, and they're not requiring any new hardware for it, so they're actually supporting an additional generation beyond what they have done in the past. So now the last thing, sort of iCloud, we kind of, had speculation as to what this actually was, but let's actually go into what it is. Basically, you're moving your digital life into the cloud. This will support your Mac, your PC, which is interesting, as well as iOS devices. So let's give an example. You can take a picture on your phone. That picture will then be pushed to the cloud, and then wirelessly it'll be pushed to all of your devices. So you take a picture on your iPhone, gets uploaded to the cloud, pushed to your iPad, pushed to your PC, pushed to your Mac, pushed to everything. Pretty nice. All the Mobile Me applications have been rewritten for the cloud. Calendars, contacts, email. Again, all that stuff is pushed to the cloud, and then updates are all pushed back down to all your devices. And speaking of Mobile Me, it's dead. Mobile Me services will be dead. Current users will be supported until sometime in 2012, but nobody else will be able to sign up for Mobile Me. It's no longer a thing. So if you bought Mobile Me on like June 3rd, sorry guys. One thing that's also cool about iCloud, no ads. Apple says they use their services too. They don't want to see ads in iCloud, so we're not going to see ads in iCloud. Pretty nice. iCloud will be free, 5 gigabytes of total storage space, and we can get into that in a second, what exactly that means. So apps are going to be synced across all your devices. We kind of mentioned that when we were talking about iOS 5. But everyday content will also be backed up. So all you need is your ID and password to sync all your content to a new device. Your movies, your books, your photos, your videos, your settings. Over Wi-Fi, all that stuff will be set up on a new device. So again, you have that, you have your iPhone 4, right? You set it up with iOS 5, all that stuff is backed up to the cloud. When you get your next iPhone, you just turn it on, enter in your Apple ID and password. All that stuff from the previous iPhone would then be synced back down. Your settings, everything would be synced back down over Wi-Fi. Really a very nice feature to have. Also, documents in the cloud. So you make a document in Pages from the iPad. It syncs from the iPad to the cloud to all your devices, which is actually really nice. Keynote and Numbers do the same thing. And of course, that's over 3G and Wi-Fi, which is pretty nice. Also, iCloud will have many APIs for developers, so any dev that really has a good idea can harness the API and can use that iCloud service. Now, something about how much storage space you have. Again, I said 5 gigabytes. Photos are going to stay in the cloud for 30 days, up to 1,000 photos. So basically what that means, let's say you take 2,000 photos in one day, right? The 1,000 last ones that you uploaded will stay in the cloud for 30 days. However, you won't lose it. It's just a matter of storage space. So when the first 1,000 gets synced to the cloud, they will automatically get saved onto your computer and they'll stay there. It's just what's floating around in the cloud is limited to 1,000 photos over a span of 30 days. So again, that's 5 gigabytes total storage space, and this will launch in the fall with iOS 5. One last thing about iCloud that I want to mention is iTunes in the cloud. This is really what we've been talking about. This was the speculation, and this is sort of what is coming, sort of what we predicted and was coming true. So all songs downloaded from iTunes are backed up in the cloud and will be automatically downloaded to up to 10 of your devices. So you download something on your Mac, automatically it's pushed to your iPhone, it's pushed to your iPad, it's pushed to even your PC and other Macs that you have. What's cool though is stuff that is, and that's free, that's completely free, that just goes along with iCloud. The only thing that you'll be paying for iCloud is $25 per year for 25,000 of your own songs to be mirrored on the iTunes service. They'll be mirrored in 256 kilobits per second in AAC format, DRM free, so they'll be all ripped up in the cloud so you can re-download them. And just one thing to note, iTunes in the cloud, it's not a streaming service, so if you're not going to be streaming from your iPhone to the stuff in the cloud, it gets pushed down and downloaded onto your device, just as an FYI. So again, RIP music will be mirrored for you. Again, that's $25 per year when it launches. And tracks that don't actually have an iTunes mirror that you've ripped will actually just be uploaded to the service, similar to the Amazon Cloud Play options and Google Music Beta. So guys, that's WWDC 2011. I'm actually really excited. There are several cool features throughout that I'm really happy for. I can't wait to get my hands on iOS 5. Probably if I wasn't at the beach right now, I would have a lot more content for you. But again, guys, I got stuff to do, people to see, places to go. So I got to get out of this room and go out and hit the water. I'll see you guys later. I hope you are very excited for WWDC 2011. There were a lot of new features. iOS 5 is vastly improved. macOS 10 line will only be $30 and is launching next month. There's a lot of great stuff coming out of the Apple pipeline, and I can't wait to see it all with my own 2 eyes. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Michael Sherlock from michaelsherlock.com. Have a nice day.